If he wouldn't have said something, I would not have gone to the doctor that day, and I very likely would not have lived the next day. I was that ill.
I don't know, like, I didn't really believe him at first. I think the first thing he told me was, dude, you saved my life.
We have what we call Mindset Mondays. The whole lesson was about, as a student, you can have positive impact on people, that you're powerful, that you have the ability to do anything you want, and can influence and make the world a better place. Just because you're young, it doesn't mean that you cannot have influence in the world. I remember him in particular on that was really engaged.
I try to be a big influence, or a big influence and a responsible influence, because I am an older brother of 3.
As I was teaching, I just didn't feel as well. I was a little under the weather.
Although he's smiling, I could tell that he was in a lot of pain. He felt like very sick. And so I went up to him, and I would have went up to anybody if they just looked like that.
I thought I was okay. As we were getting ready to go to the next class, he said, "Can I talk to you for a second?" And in talking with him, he said, "I'm going to tell you something. I don't want you to get mad at me."
You look like crap. You need to go see a doctor.
"Well, thank you, Daniel." And we laughed, but he said, "No, I'm serious. You don't look good." I said, "If I have time, I will, but I know in the back of my mind, I wasn't going to go to the doctor because I had been a couple weeks before where they told me I had something called viral syndrome, and they said it would just get better over time."
But yeah, I might have pestered him a little bit.
"Will you go to the doctor?" He didn't ask, "Did I go to the doctor?" He asked, "Would you go?"
But it was only because I cared about him so much and how much he meant to me.
"I really care about you, and I don't think you're doing well." That struck a chord with me, and I just remember thinking, this is something I probably should do.
He'd always like inspire me to do more in math. He'd always tell me to do my best, even just to try. It kind of like touched me when he was telling me like how he was sick, because like you never want to hear that someone that you love is sick.
So I decided to call the doctor, and they didn't have availability. I told them my symptoms, and they called back about 5 minutes later and said, "Hey, we have an available slot right now."
When he went, the doctors had told him that if he wouldn't have come like at all, he had only like 12 hours to live.
I was in a bad place. I had sepsis, pretty severe sepsis, was hallucinating. I was not really with it. They said I had a heart attack. They came in. It snowballed from there, and I was just very, very ill. I do remember the doctor saying, if they don't get this right, this could be the end. That could be my last day on earth. That was a lot to hear.
Honestly, I didn't feel like I did something heroic. I just told him.
I'm here because he said something. You have a student a person as a 14-year-old, he said something that literally is the reason I'm alive. He spoke up.
Man almost lost his life if I wouldn't have said nothing. He told me that my words are powerful, and that if you tell the right people that they'll listen.
He's very modest. I hope he hears how much this has meant to myself, my family, my loved ones. It's not hyperbole to say that without him saying something, the outcome would have very likely been really bad.
I didn't know what to say, what to do. I just told him that I'm glad that you're okay. I'm glad that you can still be teaching and all this, because you are an amazing teacher. We need more Andys, honestly.
The impact is immeasurable of what he did. And I just, every time I talk to him about it, he's like, that's just what I should do.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And so to always use your voice is something important that we need. Being kind to people should be a very common thing, but sadly it isn't, and I honestly want to change that.